From the sausage with cheese after the opera, to the always look good waterproof mascara. From ice cream and dumplings perfectly combined, to a being inside you, the unconscious mind. From the jumping and dancing self-tanned teen, to the sewing machine. From a place between art with the world's biggest bedroom, to my Wi-Fi is good, thanks the spread spectrum. From really crispy schnitzel and the schmaltz it was dipped in, to this place of preparation. You know, fitted kitchen. From many bright colours and the paintings with the boobs, to the 3 minutes daily, toothpaste in a tube. The inventions from Vienna, this original blend, it has always been there, from crazy to grand. Vienna Up 21, Europe's most diverse startup summit. From networks to workshops, from talents to experts, from ideas to pitches. From the 27th of April to the 12th of May. Register online, participate online, now on viennaup.com.
esteemed ministers, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Grande Finale of the B2B Software Days 2021. I would like to thank you for your understanding on our short delay starting this Grande Finale with you. This is a live event and, well, unplanned things always happen in life, don't they? My name is Iraklis Agiovlasitis, and together with my colleague Iris Marlovic, we will be your moderators for the next hour. This is the final session of a packed 3-day conference with more than 2,000 participants, 100 speakers, 25 workshops, and 2,000 meetings taking place completely virtually. B2B meetings, digital meetings. And what better topic to discuss at the end of this conference other than that? Digitalization and how it can help make companies more resilient and adapt to an ever-changing world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome also from my side. I'm very happy to be back where it all started 2 days ago. And I'm very much looking forward to our live discussion right now with 2 digital champions in Europe, Austria and Sweden, or Sweden and Austria, focusing on the topic of today, achievements and future challenges of digitalization. But please bear with me for one more minute before we start, because I would like to thank our esteemed sponsors of today. The Enterprise Europe Network and its partners in 60 countries, the Austrian Federal Ministry for Digital and Economic Affairs and its initiative Go International, the Global Incubator Network, Plug and Play, WeAccelerate, and the great support from our partner country Sweden through its embassy here in Vienna. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it already. Please also in our last session, keep in mind, create the buzz on any social media channel you would like. It's right behind me, the hashtag SWDays21. And then also right next to your screen on your right-hand side, you will see the Slido screen for your question. Please feel free to enter your questions.
And we also want to hear it from you. What were your highlights of this 3-day conference? Feel free to write in our poll what were the sessions that you enjoyed most. We will read them out loud at the end of this session. And now, let's begin our discussion. We have today joining us live from their offices in Vienna and Stockholm, Minister for Digital and Economic Affairs in Austria, Ms. Margarete Schramberg. Ms. Schramberg, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you. I'm happy to be with you.
Good afternoon. And from Stockholm, Minister for Energy and Digital Development, Mr. Anders Ygeman. Mr. Ygeman, are you here with us?
Yes, really nice to be here. Thank you.
Without further ado, I would like very much to yield the floor to our host, Mrs. Schramberg, for her welcome address. Ms. Schramberg.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say thank you to everybody who is participating to this special event and all these discussions and getting insights into this important topic. Also, thank you to my colleague, to my Swedish colleague, that we are working together so closely and that we're having this event together and use this opportunity to exchange. Digitization is important, and the COVID crisis has even more than anything else shown us how important it is in all of our lives. And it's not only in our public lives or in our business lives, but also in our private lives. It plays an important role for all generations. It's not something just for the young generation. It is something for those who are in the working process as well as for those who are already retired. It is important that we lay today and now the foundation, not only in Austria and Sweden, but in whole Europe and in the world, for the next generations, that they have a good life and they can use digitalization and all the benefits from it for their future lives, be it in health, be it in the production of agricultural products, be it in industrialization, in production, and in other areas, be it also in the field of education. It is important that we take care of the next generation, that we are discussing the topics now, and that we get into execution. We need to put these topics to the top of our priorities, and we need to do it in all the areas of our lives. So no, it's not only about e-government, but it's also about a digital life for all of us in Austria, in Sweden, and in Europe. To give this a framework and to help this innovation to grow is our common responsibility. And it's shoulder by shoulder that we are going into this direction, which I'm convinced is the right direction for a transformation of our society in favor of the people who are living in Sweden, in Austria, and in Europe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Schamberg, for setting the scene perfectly. And now I will write call on Sweden and ask Mr. Ygeman for his opening remarks. Mr. Ygeman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Iraklis and Iris, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate both the organizers and the participants of Software Days for a successful event. Sweden is honored to have been invited as a partner country, and we are happy for the opportunity presented to our companies and the industry to share their products, solutions, and innovations during yesterday's Svedentag. Let me also thank my colleague, Minister Schamberg, for this opportunity to exchange views with you. The pandemic has clearly shown the importance of digital solutions in our society. I'm convinced that Sweden and Austria can learn a lot from each other's experiences during this digital transformation. Innovation is a cornerstone of the Swedish economy, and we're proud of being the birthplace of some of the world's most prominent companies. Ericsson, Volvo, Saab, Atlas Copco have been leaders in their respective field for decades. And we're proud of adding names like Spotify and Klarna to this list as well. On this note, I would like to take the opportunity to mention a business catalog that the Swedish Embassy has developed together with the Swedish Chamber of Commerce in Austria. This catalog presents some of the Swedish companies operating in Austria, as well as fields such as cybersecurity, smart cities, and smart industry. While our industry and companies are taking the lead in the digital transformation of our societies, it is important that we as policymakers facilitate this process. Investments in digital infrastructures such as broadband expansion, as well as the developing policy frameworks on a national and EU level are crucial. It's also important that we speed up the process of making digital governmental services available to all our citizens. The future is digital, so let us bring the public and the private sector together to develop safe and user-friendly solutions for everyone. Sweden, and as well as Austria, has the ambition of becoming the world leader in harnessing these opportunities. And we're happy to share experiences on this endeavor today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Ygeman and Minister Schamberg, for setting the scene. The world is obviously digital. It has become more digital in the past year, and this opens a whole new world of possibilities, but also poses obviously new challenges to all of us. So my first question straight to you, Minister Ygeman, back to our title of the Grande Finale. What are your main digital strategies and policies right now in place in Sweden? What are your major achievements, and what do you think your future challenges will be?
Oh, that's a small question. No, but the overall objective of our digital strategy is for Sweden to become the world leader in harnessing the opportunities of digital transformation. The strategy is based on 5 cornerstones: digital competence, innovation, security, infrastructure, and leadership. Investments and focus on digital infrastructure, such as broadband expansion, has been an important factor to why many people in Sweden has been able to live, work, and study digitally during this pandemic. Enforced restrictions have moved our social and economic lives to the internet. We need to ensure there is a sufficient access to the internet and good connectivity for everyone to be able to participate in our digital society. Sweden's capability to embrace digital transformation has been a main driver for a strong economic performance in the recent year. Sweden has one of the highest shares of value added produced by the ICT sector in the world, and is among top 10 exports of the ICT services worldwide compared to other OECD countries. So I think the main challenge for us is to keep up the pace and to keep Sweden moving forward and to take use of the opportunities of the digital transformation.
Thank you very much. The world leader in ICT and in digitalization, Ms. Schramböck. What can we answer Sweden in this case? What are our main digital strategies? What do we consider being our current achievements, and what are our challenges in Austria?
So thank you very much also for this kind word, Anders. I very much appreciate this. But of course, there's also for Austria a long way to go, and we have to put a lot of topics up to our agenda. And of course, we have to execute. So I come from the IT and digital industry where I've worked for 22 years. And in my view, it's all about our execution. We have put the digital action plan, therefore, and in its description, or it's in its naming, there is this action plan, because it's all about the doing, about changing jobs, about changing the possibility to re-educate people. It's about the possibility that young people have in schools. And it's about increasing the resilience of a country and of Europe by digitization. We have seen this in the COVID crisis, that companies who are more digitized are more to the top, they're more resilient. And we can see this also for states. And therefore, we have put this at a top priority. One big of the priorities, of course, is all about people. Digitization and all the technologies which are available are nothing without people. And I would also say that artificial intelligence is nothing without people who are using this to make their life easier. And therefore, we have created this alliance. It's called an Alliance for Digital Skills and Professions, together with other ministries, where we as the Ministry of Digital Affairs take the lead, and where we work constantly on improving first digital education in schools. We will also have a new digital university in Austria soon, and we want that as in the 70s, where each school kid received their school book for free, we want these mobile devices for them for free. We want them to work with software, and we want to train the teachers. In addition, we have a special system in Austria, which is called the dual educational system, apprenticeship, which leads actually to the fact that we have one of the lowest youth unemployment rates around Europe and around the world. And this is about this dual system. Countries which are not used to it, this is just to explain to you, it's having school, having companies. And I always had apprentices in my companies, and they were a highly good contribution to the culture, but also to the business. And especially for one big problem that we will all have, it's all about digital skills. So they're bringing, at a young age, digital skills. And therefore, we have created 13 new type of jobs, which can be done in this dual education and system, such as coding and e-commerce, which are also attracting young women into this educational track. So one of the big challenges is getting women into this MINT, in these two technical and digital areas, and to show them that it's not only about being a nerd sitting somewhere and programming a software, but it's about exciting jobs that everybody can do. Even me, when I had a background in economy and entered into a highly technical company. So this is one of the parts that we have, part of the action plan. And of course, there are many more. I think we will have a good possibility to discuss also the other areas.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Schramböck, for this information and for these achievements. You mentioned the word resilience more than once, actually, and this is very important, a very important word for the people, for the countries. Let me move the focus of the word resilience to the topic of our conference, digital business. And Sweden and Austria and Sweden are both countries with a strong business backbone, both highly industrialized, with more than 99% of the companies being small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, and they are the real engine of the economy. But after almost 14 months in the COVID pandemic, many companies have been severely impacted by the situation, while some others have flourished. How do you see resilience playing out in the business world? Can digitalization help companies adapt to this world, become more resilient? And yes, you already mentioned it, more or less, but how? Ms. Schramberg.
Yes, this resilience is of importance for each of us as individual, and you pointed correctly out for companies and for states. And how can we work on that? Studies have shown us, and experts are telling us, that the more you are automized and the more you have a digital background in all of your business models, then the company is, and then also the country is. And here Sweden is ahead of us, I must say, in digital production, meaning automated production, which is environmental friendly. I have looked at the growth figures of Austrian economy over the last years and also of the Swedish economy, and I have seen that Sweden has grown in productivity in the industrial sector even more than Austria has. And this all goes back to automation. So there we have a paradoxon. Often people think that the more robots we do have in industrial production, the higher the unemployment. But the contrary is true. If we look at countries with high or low unemployment, those are the countries which have a highly automized, innovative, R&D intensive industry, which is here in Europe and is close to the customer. It is those countries who have a low part in robotics. You can think of different countries, I do not have to name them, which have a high unemployment. So it is important, and here Sweden is for us the one to follow, to have even more automatization in industrial production and to put it into smaller units. So smart factories with smaller units and close to the customer can help solve us not only the topic of higher productivity, but mainly of low unemployment, because we need skilled people to do this, and it creates jobs. And second, also to solve environmental topics. Now we have all the technologies available, from edge computing over artificial intelligence to IoT. Everything is there. We now have to combine it, bring back production into Europe and into Sweden and Austria, close to the consumer, and thereby also solve the climate issues that we have. So resilience is there, it is important, and all the knowledge we have acquired over the last 20 years, I would say, can help us now and can help Europe to compete also with the big other global players like the US and China.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Schramberg. Very interesting analysis. And thank you also for presenting some statistics from Sweden. I saw in my monitor Mr. Ygeman nodding. Mr. Ygeman, do you also agree from your side, from the Swedish point of view? How is digitalization helping companies there?
First of all, I must say I totally agree with the analysis of Ms. Schramberg, Minister Schramberg. And also say that I think that Sweden has a lot to learn from Austria in fields of connecting education, younger education and workplaces to fight youth unemployment. I think that's one factor where we can learn a lot from Austria. But I also completely agree on the analysis of automation. I mean, since the days of Ford, there's been economics of scale has been it. You should have larger and larger production units to push down the price of each product. Now we see that with products in a small scale, very close to the consumer, and make it customized after that each customer's choices. And that will shift the logic of production and will shift it towards where the consumers are located, in this case, Europe. So you can get a cheap product that is customized after your needs. And you could also get it delivered very fast because it's produced when you do your choosings. And I hope and I think that this will shift the logics of industry on many, many products.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ygeman, Ms. Schramberg. Very straightforward. We would now like to move from the business perspective a bit more to the citizens. And one of our major topics of our conference obviously was connectivity. We're all becoming more mobile. 5G infrastructure is being deployed worldwide as we speak, and we're all becoming more and more interconnected. Now, how do we react as governments, or how do you react as governments in this case? Minister Ygeman, what is the role of a mobile government? What are your digital governmental services already implemented? And what's in stock for the Swedish citizens on the road ahead in this case?
I mean, I think that this is a development that has already happened. I think 99% of the Swedish citizens has mobile telephone. The majority of people connecting to internet in Sweden are doing it on a mobile device, not on their computer. And we see, I mean, during the pandemic, I think 70% of internet users over the age of 76 used digital healthcare services last year. I mean, 70% of the people close to 80 years of age. And I think that the digital service of the public sector has to run in the same pace. And I think it's a lot of things we can do. Digital identification is one of them, and that we made those interchangeable all across Europe so that I can use my electronic ID in Austria and the Austrians can use their electronic ID in Sweden. I think we have some steps to take there. And I also think that we have to do the same automatization journey that the industry have done. We have to do it in public sector. We have some cases in Sweden where AI and automation created more interesting jobs and saved us a lot of money, making people go from welfare into jobs and creating really a better life for everybody. And we have to do that whole journey in our public sector so that we use our tax money more effective, but also that we could use people with their really special skills that can do things that computers never can do, and to use them in those areas.
Thank you. If we had more time, I would ask you how much you use your mobile phone, but I'll pass the question straight to Ms. Schrambeck. Ms. Schrambeck,
Always.
Always.
Ms. Schrambeck, what are our digital governmental services in Austria, and what's in stock for the Austrian population in this case?
Yes, thank you. But I want to answer also this question that yes, we're using it almost always, I guess also my colleague. But I have one topic where I do some time in gardening. I try to leave it on the table and not take it into the garden for at least a few minutes, half an hour, whatever. And this is important. It's important even if I've worked all my life in digital area and I have known all these technologies over the last 22 years and used them. It's always important that we also leave it aside when we talk to our family and so on, so that we manage also that. So for the government, for your actual question, for what we are doing and what is important, we have really a strategy to go into a digital state in a positive way. So to help citizens and to make the services for them even better. And here is one principle which has helped us, which I have established very early when we started the government. It's the digital first principle. Because when you do something on a mobile device or a smaller device, you need to simplify it. You can just not copy what you have done in the normal life and then put it into that, because some people think this is digitizing a process, but I tell them it's not. It is not copy and paste, but it is rethinking the whole processes. And therefore, we have put this principle to the top, which is helping us to simplify and finally to de-bureaucratize. And then what we have created is what we call the Digitales Amt in German. That's a digital office, I would say, where citizens can do their different things they want to do, to move from somewhere to another place, to give a name to a baby, for example. We have some thousand babies in Austria that have received their name via our digital office already. And all these topics, and step by step, we are working through the daily life so that it's as easy to do it at the kitchen, at home, and you do not have to go somewhere. If you want, you can do it, of course. We did not go as far as Denmark, who was putting this completely into the digital world because of the age structure of our people living in Austria. We need to take them with us, and it's important that some of the processes you want this personal contact and you need it. So we need both. We need this hybrid world with a strong focus on a big service on the side of the digital administration so that it is also accepted. As my colleague has put out, what is important is, of course, an ID. The ID Austria is launched, and it is, of course, something which we will do in a public-private partnership model together with companies and others who want to use it, not only in the public sector, but also for the areas in banking, in finance, especially in insurance. Next one is that I'm convinced that it's important that all the different ID cards, except for the passport, which is more complicated, need to be on a certain platform. So we go for our driving license, a mobile driving license, which everybody has the mobile phone with them and has it everywhere, as Anders had said, and we are always on. Also, a young generation is always on, and even generation 60 plus. So this is the next step. We will build a platform for identity cards with the main target on the driving license, which is used by a lot. So this is the important topic, and once only is a big principle also we are following and working on.
Thank you very much, Ms. Schramböck. Minister Ugemann, we know you need to leave. So one last question, which actually comes from the industry, because we've seen quite a lot of Swedish enterprises speaking yesterday at our second day, and they're all very innovative. And there has been apparently an innovation exchange round between these companies and our two governments, Sweden and Austria. And the industry would like to know if the two of you are planning on continuing this innovation exchange with the companies in the upcoming months and years. Mr. Ugemann, please.
I really hope so. I think that the exchange of ideas between countries and companies and between public sector and businesses are crucial to be successful in this ever-changing world. So I really hope that we could continue and deepen this cooperation.
And we in Austria, Ms. Schramböck?
So it's working closely together. That is important. And we need all the brightest brains in these areas. And it needs to work cross countries, cross continents. Also, if we think of Africa, there is a lot of digital countries there. You might not believe how this young generation is working on. So it's something which can help us to get forward together. And with Sweden, we want to cooperate on a very close level and continue this cooperation.
And we say thank you very much to both of you, to your time. Thank you very much for having been with us. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you very much. All the best to Sweden. Ciao.
All the best to Austria.
Thank you very, very much, ministers. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't have enough time to ask your questions. I see some very exciting questions that I would also like to ask myself, both ministers, but life exactly is like that. Sometimes unplanned things happen. But that's almost the end of the event. Iris, me, the whole team, we have spent more than a year organizing this event for you. We really hope you managed to enjoy it. And this is where we want to hear it from you. What were your highlights from these 3 days? What did you enjoy most? What were your main takeaways? If you have not taken the time until now to fill in the word cloud in the poll in Slido, please take a few seconds and do it now. And while you do it, I will ask my partner in crime, Iris, what was your personal highlight?
Thank you, Iraklis. Actually, I have two highlights. One was definitely this final discussion now, because this is the beauty of live events when things unexpectedly happen, but it still works out great in the end. And my second highlight definitely was my pitching battle. I think I was actually more nervous than the startups themselves. We have two great winners, EcoSteer and ClearMuse Tours. EcoSteer from Italy, ClearMuse Tours from Greece. And I think we'll hear from all 10 pitching startups in the next years. And I'm very much looking forward to the next pitching battle in 2023. And what about you?
It's also easy for me actually to answer this question. Our partner country, Sweden, because I was actually very much looking forward to seeing the keynotes from Sweden, to learning from these exciting companies and corporates. I was actually working in the background in the innovation exchange between Sweden and Austria, and I was really happy to see it play out this nice from all levels, from startups participating in our events, from corporates, from the minister right now in our final session. And me personally, I'm looking forward to paying at the new IKEA West Bahnhof with the IKEA app, Scan and Pay. That's the thing that was announced yesterday. If you didn't watch it, watch the stream in a couple of weeks. It's coming live to you, ladies and gentlemen. But let's hear it from you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see the word cloud. What were your highlights? Do we have some? Wow.
Oh.
Quite diverse, but I think the center of the event are the B2B meetings. Actually, that was the thing that we were expecting for you to do, you to network, and we're really glad that that's in the center of the word cloud. I also like that the carbon footprint of the event was so minimized, everything was digital, and we really hope that everything worked fine. Actually, it was a new way of organizing an event also for us. Great keynotes, Swedish collaboration, exciting topics. Wow, online workshops. The digital humanism, the pitching battle. Iris, you also have your own favorite there. So many experts, valuable leads that's connected to the B2B meetings. The workshop on 5G, also very, very interesting. We have a lot of feedback. Michael Kopp from Zurich, the whole program. Wow, I think we can let this word cloud develop, and you can still write your highlights afterwards. But at this point, I would like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, you, for being here with us 3 days. I would also like to thank all our amazing speakers for all these 3 days at the 25 workshops, giving amazing insights to you. And last, but certainly not least, we would like to sincerely thank the Brutkasten team for making this all happen without any, really, literally any technical problems. Thank you for your excellent support, your organization, and for ensuring a live flow of 4 parallel streams for the last 72 hours. Wow.
That is a wow. And ladies and gentlemen, a year of work, actually more than a year of work, has come to an end. In other years, we would wish you now safe travels back home. We will wish you that again for the 7th edition in 2 years down the road when we meet again in Vienna. And we go back to our everyday job, which is actually to help you innovate and grow in the framework of the Enterprise Europe Network. We hope to see you soon, either behind our desks or in person. And yeah, stay healthy, happy, and safe, and we'll see you in 2 years. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
See you in 2023. Bye-bye.